Ah, bonjour. Did you perhaps come to see Monsieur Bolduc? Well, I am afraid he is not here right now. I think he went down to the big field to look after some of them. They're getting ready to do some planting. I am waiting for him myself. My name is Joffrey Boyer. I work for him sometimes. I take the goods down to New Orleans to sell down there. And while I am waiting to see him, I thought I would work on a pair of moccasins. I need a new pair of moccasins because you'll see I am wearing my good buckle shoes. Usually I save these for going to mass or to funerals or to parties or parties before or after the funeral. But my moccasins, they just, you know how wet it's been this year? They got ruined, utterly ruined. You know what I should have done? I did not have my sabots, the wooden shoes to wear. I should have had the wooden shoes over them. It's, it's an interesting thing when you think about it. The moccasins, they are the shoes that the native people wear. And you come to Sainte Genevieve, you see all the people who are, like me, of French descent. Everyone wears moccasins. And except, well, like I say, you go to mass if you have good regular shoes. But these are expensive, so you protect them, you take care of them. Moccasins are nice. Anyone can make moccasins. You know what you do? Let me show you. You take a piece of hide and you cut it out. And then you fold it together. And you do like I'm doing right here. You sew around the toe. And you sew it up the back. And then, after you have sewn it, you turn it inside out. And voila, you have a shoe, a moccasin. And then, of course, if you want, you can decorate them. But for working moccasins, simple is good. And but it's interesting, the people here, they are mostly born here or born in Canada or in the lower Louisiana or the islands in the Caribbean. They are of French descent. But many of the things they use that are an important part of their way of life, they come from other traditions, other peoples, like the native folk. The native folk, they give us things like, not just moccasins, but herbs that they know about, that if you get sick, you make tea from these herbs and they will make you better. We know about good ways of hunting and how to understand the animals to hunt the way the native hunters do. That is the way to hunt. We learn from them. So there is a lot that we have gained from our friends among the native people. And also, but when you think about it, also other peoples too. We also get things from, there are the Africans here. They, most of course, they are the people who have been enslaved. But here, they live alongside us, they work with us. And under the Spanish, did you know that under the Spanish come and they say you can no longer enslave Native American, the indigenous people. They say that the Africans, after Mass on Sunday, because everyone has to go to Mass, everyone has to get married in the church. They are all fellow human beings with immortal souls worthy of salvation. But after Mass, they work for themselves. They can save up money to buy their freedom or freedom for the families. But you get these things like different kinds of food and plants and words and music and stories. And all this gets added together into the way of life here. So it's not French. It is French at the heart of it. You know, it is like, you look at Monsieur Bulldog's house here. It is a French house, a style of house that came from northern France to Canada. They bring it down here, and then they add on the gallery, the big porch that goes all that. You know where that comes from? That comes from the Caribbean, from the islands, the colonies down there, where it is very warm. So that is like the way of life here. At the heart of it, it is French. People speak French, people go to Mass, good Catholics, some French styles of food, ideas, but then other parts of other cultures get added in. But especially like Native American, you know, it is, oh, and the Native Americans, they get things from the French as well. For example, if you were out in the forest and you encountered an Osage hunter, the shirt he would wear would look just like mine. They get the woven cloth for shirts and skirts, and the iron kettles and steel knives and hatchets, but most of all, the firearm. You know, I have a very good friend who is an Osage elder. He and I would go hunting and fishing together, and he tells me that the Osage, when they first started to get firearms, they had no word for gun. So, what do you think they would call it? Oh, I don't know. Boomstick, thundermake, something. Oh, no, not the Osage. No, the Osage, I do not remember the exact Osage words, but in our tongue they call this that which makes a thing cry out from far away. This is poetic, yes? But it makes sense, because you see something, you wish to make it, put a hole in it, you shoot it, and it cries out, ah, it has been shot. And you have made it cry out from far away with this thing. So they are an interesting thing, the Osage. I almost married one of my friend, the Osage elder. I almost married one of his sisters, and I should have done that. A lot of the fellows, they do, because, you know, not only are there's not that many French ladies around here, but also among the Osage, the women are the business people in their families. So, if you wish to be a trader, you can marry an Osage lady and you become part of a trading network. And you can trade with tribes out beyond the Osage, Pawnee and Arikara and Dakota and other peoples. So for a Frenchman who wishes to go into trading, to marry an Osage lady, well, it is a good business decision. You have to work on this a little bit, but you get the idea, and there we go. We're ending up with a moccasin, with a center seam moccasin. Well, I have finished my moccasins. Monsieur Bolduc, he still has not returned. So I think I will clean up and then go do something else. But if I do find him, I will let him know that you were looking for him. And we will make sure that you get to talk to him. Au revoir.